Welcome, Dragon Ball fans, to GameCast's definitive destination for all things Dragon Ball. This is issue 2 of G-Fighterz, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Mark. How are you today, Mark?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. My name is, of course, Sully. Today, Mark, we have an unfortunate passing of a very famous voice actor, a new Dragon Ball app, DLC news for fighters, some footwear, and a fairly infamous animator for Super actually released something cool on Twitter. But Mark, do you want to take us away first with the unfortunate news?
Yeah.
And then we'll jump into some of the DLC and app news after that.
So, unfortunately, the Japanese voice actor Unsho Ishizuka, I'm sorry if I pronounced any of that incorrect, he passed away just last week, August 13th, if this is released a bit later. And most people will know him for his portrayal as Hercule or Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Although I believe he's the second Hercule voice because the previous one had passed too. But he's had a long list of very famous roles. He was Jet in Cowboy Bebop. He's Professor Oak in the Pokemon series. He's old Heihachi in Tekken. And he's old Joseph in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series. He's a very talented voice actor, and he's voiced a large part of my childhood as well as current, and it's sad to see him pass, but he'll be remembered for all of the great things that he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sad. He wasn't old either. He was only, I believe, about in his mid-60s. So that's not terribly, that's not old at all, which is a shame. And I think it was, you said he passed away due to, I think it was throat cancer or larynx cancer, was it?
It was an esophageal cancer.
Unfortunate. So he will be missed, and he's definitely left a void in the voice acting community. Let's move on, Mark.
So the next one is, there is some fun, silly news that hopefully comes over to the West at some point. There's a Dragon Radar style app coming to Japan phones later this year, where it's pretty much not really an escape room, but it's more like a maze that they sort of set up in a sort of city district, and you download this app and you go through missions and search for the Dragon Balls using your phone as a Dragon Radar. And it's
gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong.
It's all right.
That's still anime.
It's still anime. But it's just like a fun for all ages type thing that seems like it would really take off just pretty much anywhere they tried to do it.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine people like searching vigorously for Dragon Balls.
Dude, those Japanese are greedy, man. Like, where's our fucking Dragon Ball heroes?
But yeah, like it's cool. It could definitely take off here. Hopefully they will do it, because as last year or the year before they did that whole thing around the world as different events of shouting like Goku at different city landmarks. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't even hear about
Oh, really?
That. No.
Like they were doing like Scream Like Goku at Sydney Opera House, or Scream Like Goku on like an LA boardwalk and stuff like that. And like thousands of people showed up, and they some of them were dressed up and things like that.
That's so weird, man. I had no idea that was happening.
Yeah, but like it worked.
Yeah, nice.
And so like if Dragon Ball Z has that much swell, which it definitely does.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It'd be cool to have an app like this, because it's just fun, a little bit silly, but I'd totally give it a go if I had the chance.
Oh, just quickly commenting on kind of the swell and impact and power that the Dragon Ball franchise has. I saw some weird Reddit post. It was a bunch of young women just commenting on that. I don't understand why my boyfriend and why Dragon Ball is so popular among the boys. And I was just like, you don't even know. You can't grasp it.
Yeah, I've always said like it's big buff guys shooting lasers at each other. That's pretty much what any guy likes. At least as a kid. Freaking. It kept you.
What else do you need?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, and my final bit of news, very quick, very simple. So, continuing from what we said last time, where Cooler was announced for Dragon Ball FighterZ, a release window was given for September this year. They didn't say anything about his pairing character, but people have led to believe that Cooler will release end of September, most likely September 28th, because that is also the release date for Dragon Ball FighterZ on Switch.
Boom.
Which would be perfect to round out the whole year.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be interesting to see how it pans out on Switch as well.
I've heard that it runs perfectly.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good. I've seen some comparison videos. That's it, though.
Yeah, like they said that there might be a little bit of blurring or degradation in backgrounds, but generally runs well, plays well.
Yeah, nice.
Any issues for latency and things like that, we had those issues on console too.
That might actually be the version I pick up. I don't actually own G-Fighterz. I played quite a bit at like friends' houses and stuff, but I don't actually own it yet because I'm not a very good fighter. But I might actually pick it up for the Switch because I won't mind the kind of probably limitations that the Switch will probably throw at players. But you know, I could see myself chilling in that, playing in bed.
I mean, like I'm probably gonna pick it up just because.
Because they're gonna take your money.
I'm a mess and they know it.
Yeah. All right, Mark. So moving along, Today I have two pieces of news. Adidas have been working or have been teasing some sneakers for some time now, but we didn't really have much information to go off. We didn't really know when they were dropping. Surprise, surprise, they're Dragon Ball themed sneakers. But this week, actually, they released images on Twitter. So I'll pop these up on screen for you guys to have a look at. So we have the Sun Goku sneakers, which are pretty cool orange gi looking sneakers. Very slick. And then we have the Frieza sneakers as well. So they're releasing two pairs of sneakers. These will be retailing for 150 USD. And again, we haven't been given a release date for these sneakers for the market. We've just been told that it should be releasing sometime in August. So we're on the tail end of August now. So it should pretty much be any day now. One little breadcrumb trail of information, and take this with a pinch of salt, is that on the boxes for these sneakers, they actually appear to be numbered by the Dragon Balls. So Son Goku's box had the 1-star Dragon Ball and Frieza had the 2-star Dragon Ball. So, you know, it would appear that we're probably going to get more of these sneakers. We're going to get the 3rd Dragon Ball, we're going to get the 4th Dragon Ball, so on and so forth. So there could be quite a few more pairs of sneakers coming. Personally, I'd love to see some Piccolo sneakers. I don't know about you, Mark.
No, it's all about Yamcha. 7 stars Yamcha. Calling it now.
No, man, he's not going to make the cut, just like the Tournament of Power.
If it's an orange gi, you can try to argue that it's Yamcha.
What about if they release Roshi thongs or sandals?
Roshi sandals would be good.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Roshi Crocs?
Yeah, I'd also like shoes just generally coloured like Goku's boots.
Yeah, well, they look pretty cool. Have you looked at them, Mark?
Yeah. Because like they're basing it like sort of like his gi, but I'd like it if they like base it like his boots, because his boots are pretty iconic.
Oh, like laced, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give us some boots.
And like that bluish metallic-ish like color. I love that color.
What did you think of Frieza's?
Frieza's look nice. I've always liked that color scheme.
Okay, I see. I didn't really feel Frieza's much. I didn't look very reminiscent of Frieza. It didn't scream Dragon Ball to me as much. To me, they looked like just women's sneakers. Just a lot of white and pink.
I mean, like initially when I saw Frieza, like Dragon Ball original Frieza, like it's very gender ambiguous anyway.
You saw women's sneakers?
I was gonna say, I couldn't tell that Frieza was a dude. He wore lipstick and sounded like a woman.
Or smoking woman, yeah. Another little fun fact, rumor. This is a rumor. Apparently, rumor has it that you will get a little figurine with the sneakers as well. So obviously, if you get the Goku sneakers, you're going to get Goku. If you get the Frieza sneakers, you're going to get Frieza. So potentially, you're going to get a figurine, and there could be more of these sneaker lines coming for other characters in the near future. But again, we don't have a set release date, but expect to see these sneakers walking into store sometime very soon. Pretty much wraps up our sneaker news. Another little nugget of news, which this is just a little bit fun. An animator for Dragon Ball Super, who is Takahashi, released 2 sketches onto his Twitter, which I'll also put up on screen for you guys, of his take on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Pretty cool. So this Takahashi is pretty famous within the Dragon Ball community at the moment for his superb work on the Super series. He has a couple of absolute standout episodes within Super and scenes from Super. Some of them being, some of the famous ones being when Goku goes Ultra Instinct, that whole scene with Jiren. and the fight scenes with Khalifa and Kale. He's very, very popular within the fandom at the moment, and it's pretty cool to see his take on Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT, and it's just cool to see him kind of embracing it as well. Love it or hate it, it's kind of cool to see the animators or somebody that is passionate about Dragon Ball kind of embracing all forms of Dragon Ball. So let us know what you think of those sketches down below. Mark, what did you think? I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they look nice, especially since,
but
love it or hate it, GT is getting on in years. And it's good to have a sort of fresher design.
Yeah, and as much as GT had its disappointing aspects, Super Saiyan 4 was pretty cool.
It was. The best things out of GT, I've always said it, is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Vegeta, and Gogeta. And Omega Shenron. Yeah. Omega Shenron was pretty cool.
But that pretty much wraps up all of our news for this week. So not necessarily anything super meaty, but a few kind of cool nuggets in there. So we will see you guys on the other side of our very brief musical break with our discussion point for this episode. Welcome back, Dragon Ball fans. Today, our discussion point for issue 2 of G-Fighterz is, Mark, hit me with it.
World's Strongest. Dragon Ball Movie 2.
Yes, Dragon Ball Movie 2. I know we pretty much spoiled that last week. I don't know we had a massive reveal. Anyway, so this movie released in 1990. It has a runtime of 58 minutes, so it's a grand whopping 18 minutes longer than The Dead Zone, the first movie. It had a box office take of 1.5 billion Japanese yen. It took 10.2 million at the US box office. And fun fact, we received the dub in 1998 in Western regions. Yes, so not too bad. To sum up the story for you, before we jump into the general discussion of the story, while looking at the Dragon Radar, Oolong notices that all the Dragon Balls are starting to be gathered together. He and Gohan, who are also searching for the Dragon Balls, head out to investigate. The thought-to-be-dead mad scientist Dr. Cochin summons Shenron and wishes for Dr. Wheelo's lab to be released from the ice of surrounding mountains. Dr. Cochin and Dr. Wheelo's goal is to obtain the body of the strongest man in the world so he can be revived to rule the planet. There we go. What'd you think, Mark?
It was a lot more story-heavy than Dead Zone, because there's a general actual arc to what was going on, whereas Dead Zone was hey, stuff's happening. Goku's here now.
Here's a reason for stuff to happen.
Yeah, and so even though the premise is a little bit dumb of gathering the Dragon Balls to melt some ice, instead of gathering the Dragon Balls to wish for a body for the world's strongest or something like that, it had a genuine arc to it where these scientists from 50 years ago want to get the world's strongest body from their era because they don't have the internet for some reason. And know that Master Roshi was the strongest, which leads to a whole thing of Master Roshi having a moment or two in the sun, which is good.
It was very good as well. Yeah, it was very cool.
Because that doesn't happen often anymore.
No, not at all. I found it interesting though. You commented on them having to wish to have the ice melted. I love it how at the very beginning of the movie we have Piccolo commenting on how hard his training is because he can't melt the ice with his blasts.
And he uses his mouth beam. He doesn't use that often.
No, he doesn't. He used it a couple times. So I thought that was interesting. They just had to put it out there saying, hey guys, the ice is not easy to melt. We have to use the Dragon Balls. So that was interesting. Yeah, it was a fun story. It was a fun story. The Roshi moments were really cool, actually. The scene on the beach. What those henchmen, those little henchman dudes.
The Robo-Cybermen?
Yeah! Is that what they were?
I don't know. They look exactly like Cybermen, just color swapped.
They do. Yeah, exactly. And they had maybe something weird on their mouth or something that was a little bit different. So that was fun. But all of the Roshi scenes were fun. The overall story I thought was villain collecting the Dragon Balls again, but it was cool. It was kind of reminiscent, I thought, of Dr. Gero and his storyline with the androids. And, obviously this is kind of taking place at a similar time to Dr. Gero, a little bit earlier perhaps than Dr. Gero's plan. But it's kind of interesting when you think about it, because Dr. Gero's creating androids and playing with bioengineering, then why couldn't somebody else? So it was kind of nice to have a different take, just another take on it altogether in terms of androids and bioengineering. So I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it's interesting because that was like similar to Dead Zone. This feels like a Dragon Ball movie. Still, like it's chaining on those ideas. It's still a little more Z, but it's still a little bit lighter, and the villains are a little more cartoony, which is why we have that's why it feels like the androids from the Red Ribbon.
Yeah, it was fun. Where do you think this fits within Z though? I kind of had a couple of issues trying to exactly pinpointing this movie in. I think it takes place just after he defeats the Saiyans.
I'm pretty certain it's immediately after the Saiyan saga, because Goku's been revived. Gohan has a flashback, or at least Gohan has a musical sequence, because Gohan's got weird moments all the time. And in that, he has a flashback to when Piccolo jumped in front of Nappa's mouth laser. So he's definitely fought the Saiyans, but seeing as Goku's not freely flying around and still uses the Nimbus a bit, I think it's safe to assume that it's still Saiyan.
Just before the Namek or Frieza saga.
Yeah. So just before they leave for Namek.
Yeah.
And also because Piccolo's still slightly villainous at that point.
He gets mind controlled.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of like Krillin being scared of him and things like that.
Yeah, that's true. There's still that stigma attached to it.
Like that disappeared on Namek.
Absolutely. No. Fucking British is good. So I think just before the Namek arc is where I'd probably place this one in. Did you get from this movie, obviously we've just watched the Dead Zone the week before, did you feel the huge production value jump with this one?
Yeah, it was pretty significant.
It was massive, wasn't it?
It was a lot cleaner. Characters were a lot more solid, and like the Dead Zone, they looked like late Dragon Ball, early Dragon Ball Z. And by early Dragon Ball Z, I mean like the first episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this was more like, this is Z. This is after we refined the coloring because Vegeta's outfit was weird partway through Z, and then fixed up during the Saiyan saga. Do you remember that? It was like
orange
like
hair
a
and shit.
weird green and orange thing.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
Yeah. So they've this is just after that they've cleaned up the whole style. Characters are more consistent. Their faces are a little more round.
It was very slick, I thought, like in terms of animation and just cleanness of the image. The animation was so smooth and fluid as well. There's a lot of really cool fight scenes. In this film, which we'll touch on in a moment. But yeah, the overall production value, like the Dead Zone to me felt like just a couple of episodes. This to me, even though it released in 1990, I think this movie still looks like slick as shit. This was really good. The production value on this, I think, was significantly increased over the Dead Zone.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was, in the grand scheme of things, like I wouldn't be surprised if this production budget kind of holds up towards the end of the Z movies, or even maybe is more than some of the Z movies that come to follow after this, because it felt really good.
Yeah, like you wouldn't peg it for the second movie.
No way. The difference in like production value, I think, is like day and night between the Dead Zone and the World's Strongest. But to jump back onto the story, Mark, let's put a pin in it. What did you think overall? How did you think it wrapped up? It had a lot of different vibes. It had a lot of different moments happen. We got a spirit bomb. We got some classic Kamehameha moments. We had the trio Kamehameha. How did the story all tie together for you?
It had an arc, but then towards the end, it was losing itself a bit. Because it was like, Wheelo was like, yeah, I'm going to get a body, I'm going to get a body, I'm going to get a body. It's like, oh, there's a new guy, I'm going to get his body, I'm going to get his body, I'm going to get his body. It's like, wait a minute, I've got a giant robot that seems to be stronger than everyone.
Yeah, I know. All right. So that's kind of where it fell apart a little bit for me as well. It's like, why are you worried about getting a body if you have this giant robot. Like, maybe the robot's a last resort, maybe it can only be used for a certain amount of time, but it's not explained whatsoever. It's just like, oh, he's got a robot that's now poning them.
Yeah, but like the weird thing is like who lets their like secret lab freeze over?
Yeah, that's something else I didn't get as well, because they had this moment where they were like giving a bit of information, like, oh, we survived the landslide, and he built this, like, preserved his brain, and we've been researching these bioengineered like androids, and then somewhere in there something happened and it all just froze over, and he got like locked out of the place or something due to the ice.
Well, the most beautiful thing is in the abridged one, they say you went out for groceries for 50 years.
See, that's it, just not explained. It's not explained at all. Like, Abridged did a better job of explaining it.
Abridged does it so well.
Yeah,
they always hone in on like the inconsistencies in the story.
Yeah, but bar some of these little hiccups, though, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, all the Z movies are very straightforward plots, but I thought it was a lot of fun. And I liked the way it ended. I liked the throwing of the spirit bomb up into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
To kill him. I really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Killed the body snatcher. Love it. But Mark, let's move on to some of our action sequences.
Because there's quite a lot going on in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot.
In terms of major ones, I think we should break it up.
Yeah, let's do our best.
Because it's like, say, first third of the movie was Piccolo against some of those Cybermen things, which wasn't that major. But then it was Roshi versus the Cyberman on his island, which was like well done.
That was cool. Yeah.
Second, third is like Roshi against the higher grade androids,
which he holds his own.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun as well. That was Roshi's moment in the sun, I thought.
And Goku's death ball pit, yeah, where he slid across the ground. When it really slick animation on that.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then the ball pit of death, because that's how they called it in Abridged.
Yeah. It just reminds me of something like Vegeta would just be doing normally to train, though.
I'm pretty sure he's done something like that, but with lasers.
Yes. Yeah, with lasers. Oh, Vegeta.
And then the last sequence is when Wheeler is out of the... Well, when Goku fights the other androids, and bio weapons, whatever they are, and then Wheeler.
Yeah, there was a lot of action in this, so we won't go through all of it.
Yeah.
Notable action sequences for me, though, was when Goku goes Kaioken and goes through the stomach of that marshmallow, or he calls it the marshmallow dude.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Destroys him.
Yeah, he tries to punch the dude and he's not getting any progress on him, so he does the classic thing where Goku just uses his head. So he goes Kaioken and just blasts up through this, like, stretchy marshmallow bioengineered android thing and just blasts straight through his stomach with his head and through the roof above, and the dude just kind of hovers down like some kind of balloon whoopee cushion, dead obviously. He's been impaled through the stomach with a head. But I thought that was a lot of fun. And obviously when he goes through that roof, we then enter the next set of fire sequences, which, wow, that whole sequence where he was taking on all three was really slick. That was a lot of fun. Specifically, the notable moment for me out of that sequence was when he's stuck in ice.
Yeah.
And, obviously enter Krillin and Gohan at this point to help him. They kind of get beat up by these guys. And he does Kaioken out of the ice. That was awesome. I got the goosebumps when he went Kaioken, and he did that thing where, like, Goku gets serious and angry for a second. And he just Kaiokens out of the ice and lunges at the guy. And you get kind of this bit of a slow motion, like, punch across the guy's face, and that was a lot of fun, really slick.
Yeah, and that was a good sequence, but I like how that sequence starts, where Goku just sees like the pink guy and just like elbows him in the face.
Yeah, it's just not fucking around. He just gets onto the rooftop or the next floor, and it's like bang. They barely even show it as well. It's just kind of like almost implied that he's just belted him in the face.
Yeah, and like that's like, I'm gonna bring it back to Abridged again. It's like Goku was done with the spiky death ball things. And it's like he monologues to himself. He's like, man, I'm so ticked off about that ball pit. I'm going to deck the next guy I see. It's like, there he is.
Dang. Go on. No, please bring Abridged in as many times.
No, like that's what it was. Like he said, I'm going to deck the next guy I see. Sees the pink guy, just like knocks him down.
Bang.
It's like, oh.
Oh, man. That was so good. Yeah, and that's pretty much the end of those henchmen anyway. So then we move on to obviously Wheelo kind of scene where he's trying to body snatch Goku. We get Goku fighting Piccolo, which was a lot of fun. Annoyingly though, Gohan running around through that scene going, "Daddy, Mr. Piccolo." That was really annoying. I really did not enjoy that. I don't know about you, Mark, but Gohan kind of rubs me up the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah, and just gets smacked around.
Oh, it's just, God, it's just, shut up, Gohan. Go home.
Again, abridged. He gets smacked. Goku says, "It's like, Piccolo, how dare you hit my child? Unless you're training, then go hit my child."
Makes sense.
And then they edited it really well that Piccolo broke free of it, and then hit Gohan again and said, "Dodge."
That's so good. That's perfect.
But like Goku versus Piccolo, the bits that Gohan didn't interrupt, that felt like classic Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Especially since they started playing some of the older music.
Yeah.
During that sequence.
What track did you listen to? I listened to Japanese.
Yeah, it was Japanese for mine as well.
Yeah, no, it was really good. That whole fight scene with Piccolo was fantastic. A lot of fun. And then obviously that leads us into, obviously Goku ends up breaking the mind control for everybody. So Piccolo's free by that point. But then we have the final scene of the movie versus Wheelo. So pretty much we have Piccolo, Roshi, Krillin, Goku, and Gohan teaming up against basically the giant robotic mechanical beast Wheelo, the brain in a robot. That was a lot of fun too. Goku got his power pole back. That was fun. I think that's the last time we see it, right, Mark? That's it.
Yeah, I can't remember it creeping up again.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Although I think we might see it again in the Super movie. It looks like he's got it.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a nice little throwback. So yeah, we got the power pole. We got the Roshi, Krillin, Goku trifecta Kamehameha. That was fun as well. A lot of fun sequences in this movie. In this fight scene. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Wheelo's a little overpowered, much like most movie villains, and then they have to spirit bomb it away. It happens a lot, and you'll see it. Yeah. But I thought it was like, for those action sequences, like, while they are good, and like Goku tripping Wheelo with the power pole by extending it was pretty cool. I always find it a bit weird, especially this little window of time in Dragon Ball, where Goku still uses Nimbus sometimes.
Oh, dude, I just love it though.
Yeah, it's cool. But like, before Saiyan Saga was like, oh, Goku can't fly, but then it's like, oh no, he can, but he's just using Nimbus because. And now Gohan can fly and Krillin can fly into like the stratosphere. Yeah. And just continue their fight up there.
Oh, that's true.
Very casually.
Well, I wonder if Nimbus just gets used because it's like almost a way of Goku masking his power. You know, if you're flying, you're not masking your power, I guess.
Yeah. I'd like to see where he parks it.
Man, I love the sound effects on Nimbus. How cool is Nimbus?
Swoosh. Not a whoosh,
Yeah,
it's a swoosh.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just like, I love it. Yeah, so a lot of cool fight scenes during that scene. And then obviously, you know, it wraps with the spirit bomb sequence in the stratosphere. Very cool.
Spirit bomb's always the way to finish it.
Yeah, spirit bomb is always the way to finish it. Any final thoughts on the action sequences, Mark? Any other last little takeaways?
I think that they might have done too many action sequences in it.
It was a lot, man.
Because like the early ones are really forgettable.
Yeah,
but like similar thing with like Dead Zone, like the very first sequence, you just like don't even really recall it.
Yeah, I thought the whole dodgeball kind of death ball room was a little bit pointless. Like it didn't really need to be there.
But because it also like segued from a fight where it's like Goku was running and slid into it. And it was like, oh, okay, well that fight from before just stopped.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. So yeah, I think you're right in that sense. There's a couple little sequences they probably didn't need to have. What was your favourite action sequence of the movie though?
I think it was Roshi versus the bioweapon guys.
Oh.
Because I really like the colouring and lighting for that sequence. And
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cool seeing Roshi, not like pervy turtle hermit, but wearing his sort of like Bruce Lee style outfit.
Yeah. I was really hoping he'd like get jacked at one point. You know, his classic form where he gets jacked.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see that. Which, you know, just a little bit disappointing. But yeah, that was a very cool scene. I think my sequence, though, of the movie would have been probably when Goku breaks out of the ice with Kaioken. I thought that was really cool. When he just kind of flies into... He gets serious and he just whoops a couple of them real quick. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Mm.
All right, Mark, let's give it our thoughts in regards to how well we think it's aged and our Dragon Ball rating. Take it away.
I think we've already done how well it's aged because
very fucking well.
We're pretty stunned by it.
Dude, I think it actually, in terms of animation and quality, like I watched my DVD box set, but holy cow, like, yeah, I don't think it's aged today.
Yeah, like it's like I've got the remastered one, but like that was remastered like 8 years ago.
Yeah,
sort of thing. Like, it just holds up. It's clean. It's just really, really clean.
I can't wait to see Toei's remaster of these films because, yeah, like I honestly think like once we get those remasters, I don't think if you showed it to someone who hasn't seen Dragon Ball, they're not going to say it's a 19 from the 90s. Like it would look like fresh anime. Like I think the production value in this movie was incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. So yeah, I think we've just kind of nipped that straight in the bud. It's 10 out of 10 in terms of aging.
Yeah.
Hasn't aged a day.
Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, what's your rating? Hit me with it, though.
I gave Dead Zone 4, didn't I?
Yep.
World's Strongest is a much more solid movie.
Mm.
So I think it's 5 out of 7. Ooh. And I say that mainly because I know like what's higher.
Ooh. See, I know what's coming as well.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a 7 out of 7 Dragon Balls, Mark.
Because you were just blown away by that animation.
Dude, I loved this movie. I loved the plot was, all the plots to me for Dragon Ball Z movies are pretty simplistic and straightforward, but it had a really nice nostalgic blend of like Dragon Ball for me, done really well with a really high production, which is, it's not a mix you get. You don't get that from the old Z sagas, like the Saiyan saga. Like, yeah, it's kind of a little bit old and dated, but this movie to me has some kind of defeated time with its production value, but it still looks like old Dragon Ball. So yeah, I totally dig it in that sense. And it has a lot of great action as well. So to me, it's 7 out of 7 Dragon Balls for me. Done and dusted.
He's gonna make a wish.
Oh, what am I gonna wish for?
Your Toei release to make it to Australia.
my Toei remaster to make it to Australia, Amazon. Please. We'll keep you updated on that. All right, Will. Let's wrap it up for issue 2. What can our audience expect next week from us in terms of our discussion point?
It will be Dragon Ball Z Movie 3, which...
The Tree of Might.
It's the Christmas Tree of Might. No, it's the Tree of Might. with Turles.
Yeah, the first Goku lookalike character to appear, I believe, isn't it? He came before Bardock. He did come before Bardock.
Yeah, Bardock's later.
So, and we never really got an explanation for that either. Just FYI.
Well, Turles is his brother.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Raditz, Turles, and Goku.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
All right. I'm cutting this to look like a noob.
We're gonna get into this next week.
All right, we're going to get to the bottom of this. I just thought it was unexplained. I've missed some crucial piece of information somewhere. I thought it was just an unexplained copycat clone thingy. Anywho, so yes, the Tree of Might is our movie as our main talking point for next week's episode. But, as per usual, in issue 3, you can expect from us the latest news for Dragon Ball. And a good old conversation regarding the Tree of Might, or the Christmas Tree being the abridged movie. And I might actually try and watch the abridged movie this time, so actually chip in on the abridged front. Yeah. Not that you're doing a bad job, Mark. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just because, especially for Tree of Might, it's very different.
Yes. Yes. I actually have seen it. I haven't seen it in a very long time, though. So again, audience, if you haven't seen the abridged series, please go watch that. It is amazing. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. Let us know what you thought of The World's Strongest. Let us know what you thought of the production value. Let us know what you thought of the news we brought to you today. If you'd like to find Mark and myself on an individual level, our channels will be linked down below in the description box. If you'd like to come chat with Mark and I, will also be available in our Discord server, the GameCast Discord server. You'll find us having regular banter in there, talking about Dragon Ball and other video game related topics. It's a very nice community that we have growing there, so please come and join us. But until next time, guys, have a good one.